Hello guys, welcome back to Oscar's World. Today I will be teaching you another Year 3 lesson. This time it is going to be about making sentences interesting. Yes, making sentences interesting. It's very important to make sentences interesting when we write because there are some boring sentences in stories. Like, for example, let me show you one. Like in Julia Donaldson's Songbirds, to give you a good clue, in Julia Donaldson's Songbirds is a very easy story, but to be honest, these sentences are very boring and very easy to read as us in Year 3, for us in Year 3. But we need to make them more interesting because people are going to read you things. Because people are going to read you things. Now we're going to talk about a real story. The real story is, come on, guys, just getting in my way. Right, anyway, now we're going to talk about a real story called Wind in the Willows. Its author is Kenneth Grant, and I'm sure a lot of you don't know what Wind in the Willows is. But anyway, you should choose one of the characters. I mean, you could choose from either mole, rat. You could choose from either mole, rat, badger, or toad. Now, toad is very funny and always gets into scrapes, but you have to choose one. Pause the video now to choose one of these characters. Right, you've chosen them. Now why did I ask you to do that? I'll tell you right now. Because you are going to write some sentences about that character. Right, because you are going to write some sentences about that character right now. Now, you must have chosen the character now. What you're going to do is you are going to write some sentences about the character. I'm sure, but don't worry. You just turn off the TV. Just turn off the TV right now and go on the internet to search some fun facts about these characters in Wind in the Willows. Right, one thing is now, what you have to do is just write some things here. So we have to do a few sections to write here. Right, we're going to start with the first sentence, which is the list sentence. Commas and an and. Right, we're going to start with the list sentence, which comma and the and. Comma and, which I don't know if it means nothing. So it's just an opening sentence. But later in my lessons, I will ask you to write a description. So don't bin this piece of paper. You will need it for your description. Right. Now, I don't mean turn off the TV. I mean, you're probably not watching on your TV, but just to let you know, I think you're watching on phones, tablets. I don't think there's much people that are watching on TV, but I watch YouTube on TV. So anyway, now let's go. We're going to start with the list sentence and right. So for example, my sentence is Mole lives in the little house and he loves going outdoors. You must write it. If you chose Mole, you must write a different sentence. Now, the list sentence and means you must just open the sentence. Right. Pause the video to write that sentence down now. Right. The second sentence we're going to write down is a question. What questions do you have about the character? Write one down now. Pause the video to write it. Right. Now we're going with an exclamation. Now, your exclamation has to start with the words how or what. How or what. Right. Now, I wrote, what a nice character. For my question, I wrote, how does he look like? Of course. Now, what a nice character Mole is in the butt. one thing I want to tell you is, well, now, what a nice character we've got here. Yes, he is very nice. Of course he is. Super nice. What a nice character. Now, right, an exclamation. Right, let's move on to the next one. You must start with an adverb on one of your sentences. Like, ending in ly. The adverbs I'm going to ask you to start with is quickly, happily, or sadly. Sadly. Pause the video now to write that sentence down. Right, now we must start with another adverb here. We've got, it's now. These are time adverbs. Sometimes, do you think you can use sometimes, afterwards, every day? Those are the adverbs I want you to use, but those are the adverbs I want you to use. I wrote, the Mole and Ratty went for a boat trip. Now, what you've got to do here is it's pretty just simple. Very, very simple. Right, start with an adverb. Now, pause the video now to write that sentence now. Alright, it's now, you must include a preposition. If you don't know what a preposition is, then a preposition describes the place you are right now in. So I wrote, he met Ratty by the beautiful river next to the big tree. Now, we've got this challenge sentence. It's optional. If you think you are very good at your learning with me, then you should do this challenge sentence here. Can you add an enabled clause into the sentence? Now, it's very hard to understand an enabled clause, but an enabled clause is you just write a boring sentence. Yes, and now you just split that sentence half and add a bit of information into that middle here. For example, my teacher wrote, Mr. Toad, who was always energetic, and in the middle you would have had something. I wrote, Mole, who wore a white shirt, was always calm. Pause the video now to write that sentence down, and remember this is optional. Right, that is all for this lesson. And remember, all the lessons are provided by my school. And remember, don't bin this because you'll need it for your description later. Because you'll need it your description later in another lesson. But for me, it is now all I've got for this lesson. Bye!